Okay, here we go. I'm just going to watch this and casually explain what I think he's doing right and wrong. This is G-RaY. He's doing fine right now, staying quite far back, so he's just doing a little bit of chip damage when people go forward. He didn't really have any challenges of people coming forward to him. Right now he needs to get this soldier, because it's really important. Now he needs to turn around, and I would run away if I were him. Yeah, he took so long to kill the soldier that the scout just got really good positioning. Was able to pretty much do what he wanted to do because he had a medic, whereas G-RaY did not. So I guess my criticism for that would be stay a little bit further back, don't go so far forward on their side, wait for something to happen, do a little bit of chip damage. If your team's doing fine on that side anyway, there really is no reason for you to jump down just to get that chip damage when you could be there just in case something else comes from the right hand side. And if you were there, then maybe your medic would have been able to heal you as well. Watch you again. At this point, like, you guys need to just leave. You need to have one soldier just bombing him, the medic that is, and trying to get the force. It's all like wasted time, kind of. That being said, they haven't jumped onto your medic that aggressively, so your medic does have 80%, and if they don't push in now, then they will give you a free Uber effectively. I'm not really a fan of playing scout on this last, if you can help it, because it's good when you're pushing out and cleaning up and stuff after your team's done stuff, but I feel like a heavy and a sniper in the door and a heavy on top or something would be better. Just getting out at the end, everyone, really. Like, I had a 7 kill streak, so there's that. Going top again, that's fine. Just be looking around for what they're going to do, basically. That demo's trying to make room so the soldier can bomb. Soldier bombs. You're focusing on the soldier, which is fine. You've done it enough now, though. He's out of the fight, so now you need to deal with what's pressuring the rest of your team and focus the same things. You're going to try and get that scout. That being said, you used quite a lot of shots on him, and now you're in a really bad position with basically nothing loaded and no health. I wouldn't have committed as hard as you did to that. It worked out okay for now. Doing this chip damage, but that was more them not capitalizing on your mistake there. I would have, like, if you were going to left to do a bit of chip damage to help your scout. Again, it's the same problem from last time, really. Try not to spend too much time doing it if you aren't going to get the kill. Just do the damage, see that he runs away, and just then get straight back into position to help your team. Always be thinking what you can do to be in a good position to help your team as well. You get the scout, that's good. Now you're pretty weak. If I were you, I wouldn't have shown myself there. I would have just got out because your combo is already getting out. You do get one pick onto a soldier, which is really nice from your scout partner there. That was alright. And now they have a scout and a soldier down, whereas you have one soldier, but they're getting spawns. So nothing really matters, except you have a very, very small Uber advantage. At this point, you're going to help your scout partner, but he was retarded to be that far in the first place. Like, he should 100% have died. If you go in like that, that's so dumb. Like, having a scout go that far forward into the IT is suicide usually. If they capitalized on it, they would have killed him. Yeah. Let's wait, because obviously it's a bit of a stalemate. I feel like you're typing. Yeah, you're doing the console shit. It's fair enough. At this point, this is like a good place to watch, but it's literally just that, really. When you're on your own and you don't have your combo pushing through there, it really isn't a good idea to go too far forwards. You're just checking, that's fine. You didn't go too far forwards either. Now you're just stalemating. At this point, you should have a Roma go for them. Go for the bomb and try and... You can do like a skip jump through this choke as well, even on this side. And land on the medic's head and force him, because at this point it's just going to be a stalemate, like, for a long time. Okay, you're going in because your team is. This is a meh place to go because, I mean, there's definitely going to be sickies there. You ended up going in just after he deaded them, so that's fine. At this point, you should focus on getting the cap. What's going to get you this cap? And it's definitely not focusing just on that one guy. You should focus on dodging the stuff from him and keeping on the point, but you need to look around as well. Look on the floor, look on the right hand side, check where everyone is, because at that point you basically got killed by a soldier that you didn't even look at. Like, you had no idea he was even there. You need to be looking around for stuff like that and also be able to dodge the stickies, because the stickies weren't the problem there. Even though you were looking at the demo, he wasn't really focusing that hard on that because he knew he had a soldier right next to you that just shot the ground. At this point you need to effectively just help your team, make sure that your medic lives, but you're going in alone basically there. Let's see where your medic was. Yeah, these guys are really, really far back and you just walked in on your own. I think that's obvious for even you watching your own demo. You just went in when you shouldn't have in that situation. Okay. Right, Landtite needs to just get the fucking Uber, but for whatever reason they spent so much time forwards and not building, they just ended up losing a soldier. Not the end of the world, because the other team did pop, but Landtech is now being forced into the resup. If the blue team knows what they're doing, they'll just get on point, and they did. They just got on, because if you force a medic like that into the resup, you've already got one soldier, so there isn't one spamming down from you. The other one's really easy to focus. Pretty much no one else can do a lot of work on this last, except for a buff demo or soldier, and the medic was completely cut off, so they could just get on the point. Nothing you could have done there as such, because last is really shit for scouts. But again, I would suggest trying to have like defensive off classes and things like that and switch to scout once you realise everything's looking up. This is fine. You should just basically be dealing with that soldier, which you have. You didn't really need to drop down there, but it seems like it worked out anyway. Like, at this point, because you just dropped down, you just ended up eating a rocket from a guy that was still above you. You should basically just assume that if you drop down, you're giving away a height advantage, even if you think that maybe there might not be anyone up there. Like, when you drop down, you thought, it's fine. At this point, we've won anyway. Like, if you drop down, that it sort of throws a lifeline to the soldier that might be there. If there is a soldier still on the top, he wants you to drop down, because if you don't, then he's got a problem. Whereas if you do, he doesn't really have that much of a problem. You guys are going to cap, that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't have really capped as well, to be honest, because your team was already pushing into last. You should have gone with them. At this point, they just got the worst end of the Uber, because 2 Ubers, one Uber's first, the other one has longer Uber at the end of it. Or at least it lasts until a later time, which ended in your full team dying. Not a big surprise, to be honest. That was expected. You're building, that's good. You have a soldier on top, so he's watching. He's able to just spam the air to you, which is a good spot for him, really. He needs to be able to get out. So hopefully he doesn't drop down. If he does drop down, then that's a dumb idea, but it doesn't look like he's going to. He's absolutely fine up there anyway. And you are... Right, if I was you, I would not be on the floor right now. I would have been on the rock. Because there's no one else on the rock, and if they're going to fire a rocket at the rock, that's one rocket that they're not firing at your team, whereas if you stand on the floor with the rest of your team, when they're bombing in, they just have to fire a rocket in your general direction, and they're hitting other people as well. If you're standing on the rock and you're ready for it, like, they either waste a rocket or you don't get hit, and it's really easy to dodge as well from that. You have 2 people down, demo and soldier. You do have an Uber, but so do they. This is really not a favourable position for you. Your team really shouldn't even be here. You're going in probably thinking, like, from your pub, it looked like your team was probably still in. I don't even know where they are. I'm not going to check yet. But you ended up dying. You get the med, so that's okay. But your team kind of beefed it anyway. So they're going to lose the second. The demo is... If the demo goes down, that's really good. But he's not going to. He's just going to leave. And they're in a situation now where you do have an Uber advantage, but mostly because of their incompetence. They should have been more pressuring onto your team than when you guys completely fucked up. The fact that you guys pushed out with an Uber into a team that also had Uber with a demo and a soldier down made the least sense ever, really. No, yeah, you're still building. Sometimes I'll switch around over POVs when you're not in the middle of action, you're just building or something. That's fine, you just get the Uber now, but I mean, it doesn't make much sense that you would wait now. Like, at this point, it's going to end up 100%, but before, you guys walked in like when you had 100% on both sides, when you had a disadvantage in players, and now you just wait until they have 100% for no reason. Just give them a free Uber. When you guys could have pushed. There was really no reason for you to bomb them. It looked sort of like you sent a roamer in because you assumed that they also had Uber, but that obviously wasn't the case. This is good from you, but at this point I feel like you're spending all of your shots. Like, you literally shot 6 times, did chip damage from across, and then he had time to just do whatever he wanted while you couldn't shoot anything. So I would suggest in a situation like that, instead fire a couple of shots, and if it doesn't look like you're going to kill him with the shots that you're using, try and jump around and find a way where you can kill him or kill someone else and then call that he's there, because using 6 chip shots really doesn't do anything other than get rid of all of your shots that you have. So if someone comes to you and wants to kill you, you're pretty fucked. So I would suggest not peppering chip shots really at all. Chip shots fucking suck. It's the same thing on like granary mid. A lot of the times you'll see scouts peppering across to the demo, and obviously every little helps and everything. If both scouts are doing it, that's a decent-ish amount of damage, but not really that much, especially considering he'll probably have a medic on him in a sec, etc. And it's the same situation pretty much everywhere. Just, if you're gonna pepper, use your pistol and then you have your scout gun shots, or just don't pepper at all and just work out another way where you can be more useful with your time. At this point you're just capping, which is good. They were all up, so it wasn't like you all needed to do it, but it's all good. Again, you have an advantage. If you stayed to cap and they decided to actually push, they could have just used that advantage to their, well, advantage, and they could have actually done something with it, but now they've given the Uber again, and they've popped early. They've already lost a soldier. You killed the scout, which was well played from you, but and he killed a soldier, well played from you again. It was fine, obviously, but at this point you're pretty stuck. The only way that this is going to go well is if, yeah, of course they're going to hit you. If they didn't hit you, that would have been fine, but your team really just screwed that up entirely. They gave them an Uber in a situation where they didn't need to, and then they popped really early. So not only did they let the other team get the Uber, but they also then gave them a better Uber, like, not an advantage, but they gave them a better Uber. They were like, yeah, we'll pop first, no problem. Like, obviously they're going to lose that fight. And those flank kills that you got ended up being quite redundant because of that. Really, your team fucked up there. If they had done what they should have done, you going into the flank and getting those kills would have meant that you'd just get on the point, and you could have even got more kills because maybe your team would still have been there, and maybe they would have still been in, so you could have got the kills in the first place, or in the end rather. Okay, at this point you should just be calling, saying the combos. You are in a horrible position right now. This is a really bad position. They already, like, if they see you like that, don't stay on the floor, like, ready for them to just hit you, because even if they have to look down at you and shoot you or whatever and your team's there, even if they do, you're in, like, a horrible position, because you've been called. Let's say a soldier bombs you from choke while you're focusing on them, you're fucked. Like, what are you going to do? They've popped early this time, and they've managed to actually use their advantage, unlike your team did before. So they managed to just kill your medic when he was at 91%. That's how you use an advantage, which means everyone dies. At that point, for you, I'd say you weren't really in a really useful position. You were in a useful position to begin with when they were started coming in, but after that you kept on that position, not really doing much with yourself. Like, it's fine to look there, but don't only look there. Like, you were literally tunnel visioning entirely into that area, into the IT. Just try not to do that, because meanwhile things were happening around you that you could have been helping with. Just try to be more useful with that. At this point you have one pick onto a soldier, which is nice. There's another soldier down. Your demo dies, but 2 soldiers for 1 demo isn't that awful if you guys play this properly, and it looks like you have the position to. If I were you, I would be on the point first and foremost at this moment, but it looks like you've got someone on the point anyway, so that's fine. And you're doing work, you're getting some kills. Demo's on the bulk. At this point, like, you could actually get the demo pick, and you do. Well played. To be honest, again, that was something that the demo fucked up with. It wasn't that you... Obviously, I'm not like taking it away from you. I'm not saying that you didn't do well there. Of course you did. But the demo pretty much fucked up because he knew you were there and knew you were aggressive, and still, for some reason, didn't just left click, right click onto the balcony and kill you. And he turned away from you as well, even though he knew that. So he just gave you, again, a free kill. Now you guys have Uber. If you guys push in, this will be awful. I hope that Lantat doesn't do that again with whoever that he pushes in with. Because every time that you've done that, you've had to pop really early. But this time, the Ubers are pretty much equally popped at the same time. Actually, Lantat does it after them, which is a good improvement from before, so that's fine. At this moment, you just need to be looking for an opening and where you can go. I mean, it's not the worst idea to go for that demo, but I mean, you're just like walking right into the open for loads of people to shoot you. You should really be going for someone that isn't going to be a solo kill. Coordinate with your team and then go in when they're going in and shoot the same people that they're shooting. Or if that isn't possible, let's say if other people are focusing you, you can communicate with your scout partner and say, let's focus these people that are going to jump onto them, like let's focus this roamer, let's focus this scout, things like that. And then if you do that, you'll end up on the right side fighting with your scout partner. You manage to get picks like this. See, exactly, like if you did that earlier on while everyone else is pushing left, that would have been a few people that they don't have to worry about. And you also have the cover of the right side a lot of the time on those barrels and stuff, so I would suggest using them. You did well, but it was a little bit late, I think, from both of you. Needs to be more coordinated with a push rather than just, you know, in the middle of things. That being said, the medic does end up going down, and the soldier. You are losing people here and there. People aren't really focusing, but those two people were weak enough for you to just pick off. Well played from you. Of course, not really much critique to give there. You just walked in afterwards and they were weak, so you cleaned up because you're the cleanup crew. As a scout, that's what you do. You cap and you clean stuff up. And in my case, you go sniper too much. This is good. You're using your pistol across instead of your scatter. So now you should keep your scatter and not waste it on... See, these shots are okay, because at that distance it really does actually make a difference. Like, you're going on the demo now, that's a fantastic pick. Even if you die now, which you shouldn't, because you should get a health pack, that would be fine. I wouldn't have gone through there. I mean, that was obvious. They were going to just kill you. You could have got out of that alive if you just went back the other way and went back to your medic, because then your medic would have more protection right now. Obviously your medic has Uber now. Oh wait, no, I'm retarded. I'm looking at a completely wrong person. I'm not sure if the medic was actually alive then. I think the medic might have died earlier on. But either way, you guys did win the mid, even though they have a full Uber advantage. If you had gone back, maybe you would have been in a better position to deny them in the first place from going on your med, but I'm not sure if your med was actually there. Either way, you could have lived, which obviously is always beneficial. At that point, you just walked directly into a rocket. You overextended in the first place, considering that they had a massive advantage. Not just you, your whole team really did that, except for your demo and your medic. At this point, they're really in a shit position though, because it's just them. And they're just going to get bombed from all angles. Really nothing at all they can do about it. They're going to die. And that's a really late death on the demo man. They're just going to roll into this last, absolutely fine, because they can cap now. They can walk into you. There's nothing you can really do about it. That being said, if I was them, at this point with all these respawns coming in, I really wouldn't be pushing. Unless I got a few picks like that, in which case I would definitely be pushing, because they've got 4 people, 5 people. There's demo up and that's it. Yeah. They could have been more safe there in just waiting for the Uber before they pushed in, but they decided to go in and out DM you guys, because you did have a few people down, and they managed it. So, well played to them, I suppose. It was just an overextension, really. You died when you didn't need to after the mid, and then your team had a disadvantage and overextended while having a disadvantage, which then gave them more of an advantage. So you're really tunnel visioning now. Like, you literally look at him, you don't look around yourself onto the floor to see who's going where or whatever. You literally go, oh my god, Ahmed, I'm going to walk directly into him, straight forwards, no thinking whatsoever. which is obviously not good. Don't do that. Don't tunnel vision. If you want to get a medic or something like that, that is not the way to do it. Should be if a guy jumps down to my medic like that and I'm near my med, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is a free kill, man. Because that was like the most obvious strafe pattern in the universe, and obviously the most obvious thing that you could have done, because they just killed you immediately. At this point, your job from checking IT is still on. You should be still doing it a little bit, which is fine. You're doing absolutely okay. You're focusing, probably the guy that was called to be focused there. At this point, you need to be regrouping with your team, because you're going to get focused down on your own, and you do. We're going to click a few times, see what they're doing. Like at this point, they're ending up on their own again. I'm not sure if it's their fault for not asking you to regroup and stuff, but that was nice. Well played, whoever the fuck this kid is. Oh, well fucking played. That was sick. Who's that? Whoever it is, that was good. That was fun to watch. But yeah, they end up like, the demo and the medic end up the only ones alive a lot. You need to be looking around and trying to regroup with your team instead of going for kills on your own. It's always funny when medics miss crossbows. They have a massive Uber disadvantage now. So the team shouldn't be pushing because of it. Obviously, you guys are sort of walking into the most obvious place ever for free kills. So far aggressive. Can you imagine if a soldier and a medic came out around that corner right now? They would pummel you to death immediately. Like, they have Uber as well now. I wouldn't even be surprised if they did. Now you're getting back, but I mean, that was weird. You guys were so far forward, they can just do whatever they want. That's a free pick on the soldier, obviously, and now they're going to do the same. There we go. It happened. It wasn't the medic, obviously, but it did exactly what I said, and they killed you, because that's a horrible position to ever be in. Your medic and your demo get out again, as usual. Or maybe your demo respawned there. I think the soldier got out with your medic instead. This soldier's going to die immediately as well. There's no way that soldier's living. Yep, he's dead. That's a free pick for them. They've popped as well, and Lantac has popped in response. If you don't get any kills at all here, this is a really, really bad pop, because they have height advantage from that scout on the point. He needs to be focused. He was. That was well played from you two. And also their team needed to support those people that were behind better. They do get a demo as well, and a scout, and at this point you going for the sniper is fine, but at this point, alright, cool, you're actually coordinating with the soldier that's with you, but this, oh wow, okay, that was fine. That was good for me to go for the sniper, because someone needed to. He would have been a big problem if they walked in choke. You end up getting it as well, which means now you have an 80% Uber advantage. Let's hope you actually fucking use it rather than use it on second. I'd really prefer it if everyone just jumped forward right now, got a little bit of position, and then when they get second, push into last, because if Lantec gets forced here, this is really bad. I hope he doesn't. They have an NG as well. Let's see if you all die to the NG, that would be really funny. In a situation like this, I'd be where you are right now, to be honest. I wouldn't be going anywhere near the left, but I'd be listening to my team to make sure that nothing is coming left. I would never open this door. Don't you fucking dare. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Don't do that ever. Free picks for demos all day. And now, I mean, your soldier's basically like pulling up attention. Like he's like, hey, look at me, and then you're right behind him, so any attention that he pulls is going to end up in damage for you. So I wouldn't be right behind a soldier that's spamming like that, ever. Really not a good plan. At this point you need to leave, because they're wrapping around you as well, and they're also in the lobby. Really nothing you can do to save your medic except just leave. but you couldn't because you got completely ruined and you overextended. Less overextending is probably my idea. Like, you seem to look around for places where you can go in and stuff, which is okay, but then by the time your team fucks up, you then stay in after that. So it's not like you're overextending beforehand. It's more once your team gets ruined because they've picked a wrong way to go or something like that, or lost an Uber fight, then you stay in for so long that it gives them a chance to kill you. Demo dies, that's a really good pick from your scout partner, and you get a scout as well, which means there's a demo and a scout dead, which is fucking brilliant for you guys. And the soldier dies as well, pretty good pipe. At this point you need to be speaking with your team, like force them immediately. You have a soldier going aggressive onto point, but like the cap isn't the most important bit right now. Right now, I mean, obviously caps win games, but I mean now you have 82% and they have 100%. If they'd have gone aggressive and you'd have stayed to cap, then maybe you would have got the force off, and the medic would have been able to get Uber and have an Uber advantage, because now he's just getting Uber, but they already had it for like a year. So I mean, how useful is that? Not very, because he's just popped it extremely early. The blue team has just popped it really late compared. You're in a position where you can't do anything because you guys spent so much time on second that you had no room whatsoever in the lobby or anything, so those guys were just spamming whatever the fuck they wanted, and you still have 27 HP. If they hit you with one thing, you're dead. Oh my god, how the fuck did you win that? Yeah, they fucked up. They severely fucked up. They had a massive Uber advantage on the blue team, and they didn't even get forced, and they had a better Uber, and yet somehow nothing. I don't know, man. I don't agree with how your team played that, or how you played that, to be honest. But I would say obviously it worked out, but I don't think it would have done against a more coordinated team. At this point, that scout, they're good. You change targets, that's fantastic. But at this point, you're really kind of overcommitting to that demo man. Like, bear in mind that he has people right next to him. If they were hitting their shots just then, you would have died while focusing that demo man, because you were doing really predictable strafe patterns so that you could jump onto the top again. They would have just killed you. They would have been like, oh, look at that guy trying to focus a demo, let's just meat shot him and walk forward and killed you. They didn't, of course, as is the case a lot. You're good, you checked sewer, that's really nice. A lot of people wouldn't. You guys do pick a scout, which is fantastic as well. This is a really shit position for you. It doesn't look like Lantac really gives a shit if you have any health, because you and your scout partner have 0 fucking health effectively, and you're gonna die. Like, there's no way. Oh, you got the demo again. That was good from you, but the demo just fucked up completely. Like, he should not have died to you there. I don't understand this team. They're fucking up, like, severely. Now Lantac is in the worst position in the universe. Oh my god, this is the worst. And you get it again. I don't understand. It's like you guys fuck up and then they fuck up really badly as well. And then I don't know, man. Positioning isn't the best. It's like he doesn't value his life or his Uber that much. He also doesn't seem to be actively looking around to heal his scouts. A lot of medics are like that. At this point you're focusing quite heavily on the soldier. You actually get him as well. I guess you did quite a bit of damage in the first place, which is nice. You gave up the height advantage again though. I suppose maybe to dodge away from the scout, so that's okay. You actually end up getting the demo because you regroup with your team, which is what I've been saying the whole demo you should do. And you end up getting a medic as well. Really well played. This is all really good. Very, very good. I would have maybe changed one part, which would maybe don't give up the height advantage, but I believe you might have done that because the scout was looking at you from left, and if you were on the top he would have been able to shoot you. Otherwise, well played. That was good. Okay, I think that's it. I think I might have gone over most things. I'll just recap really quick what I think you should improve on. Don't tunnel vision so much. You keep walking into people and just staring right at that person and thinking he's the only person that really matters. On the top of that, it makes sense not to, while you're tunnel visioning, just don't be staring at one guy to try and kill him or whatever, and then not be taking into account that other people might be shooting you. Like sometimes your movement patterns aren't too good while doing that, so it like leaves it pretty much open for them to do whatever the fuck they want and kill you. A lot of the times they didn't, but they should have done. Don't be behind the soldier that is basically pulling attention to himself, unless you are specifically trying to kill that person that is going to bomb him, especially not in an Uber situation, because that roamer is going to die and you are going to die with him if they Uber into anywhere near there, or even if they don't Uber, a lot of the time they'll just kill you. Yeah, I feel like I've pretty much gone over everything. I can't really recap on the other thing. Let me think. Oh yeah, make sure that you switch in targets when the target that you're currently staring at isn't really worth shooting at, isn't really, like, let's say it's too far away, so your shots are actually doing quite a little amount of damage. Like, trying to be actively looking around exactly what your team needs at that point. Don't think demo picks are really good or medic picks are really good. Think, what does my team need right now more, and can I go and help with that? And if you can, go and do something else. Obviously call it and things like that. Yeah, I think I've done. This was another bitching session, which I haven't done. I did one for G-RaY a while ago, but I never uploaded it, and this is a new one for him, so I think I'll be uploading a few of these. There's a kid that, I shouldn't really call him a kid, I have no idea what his age is. There's a guy that Fair got me to add called Frenzy. I'll probably be doing his tomorrow, because he needs some help with some stuff. Yeah.